Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Put your right hand over your heart. Keep your thumb down, lest the love for your country leave your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As you probably have noticed, Councilmember Andrews is absent tonight. Councilmember Johnson will be calling in from Charlotte. I believe he's on the phone. He'll be participating by phone tonight. There is no pet adoption, there are no presentations, and no hearings. So we will start right away with public comment. We have 9 members of the public that wish to address the council. I want to remind you, please identify yourself. And we're going to stick to the 3-minute limit, so be aware of that. When you see that yellow light, you get 30 seconds after that. Okay. Allison Gallagher.
Good evening, Mayor Foster, members of the City Council. My name is Allison Gallagher. I'm a student at Cal State Long Beach, and I serve as the Secretary for City Affairs with the Associated Students Government. And I just wanted to come tonight to introduce myself. As the Secretary for City Affairs, it is my primary goal to work closely with the City of Long Beach, integrate the city with the university, and vice versa. One of the big things that we're working on this semester is our 49ers Vote initiative. We have a goal set of registering 4,900 students to register to vote, and it's a big election year, so it is a nonpartisan voter registration drive, and we will be having our kickoff event on September 17th from noon to 1 on the campus at the speaker's platform. If any of you are interested in attending, we hope to have about 150 to 200 students present, as well as many of our student organizations who are also interested in the voter registration drive, as well as hopefully the president of our university speaking and some student speakers. So if you're interested in attending, I believe I've sent most of you an email with my contact information. If not, come find me, and I have business cards readily available. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gallagher. Good luck. Thank you for introducing yourself. Appreciate it. Shirley Broussard.
God of Esther and Mordecai, whose presence has already been acknowledged, thank you for your presence. Give us listening hearts to accompany our listening ears today. Good evening. As I have been continuing my 3-minute series on Arrays for the Homeless, I was invited to do a study on Oscar Schindler over the last 2 weeks. And after I came out of that extended study, I believe what God was telling me was to reintroduce the homeless to our community. The homeless are the new Jews in Auschwitz. They are the new Indians whose land has been taken. They are the new Mexican who has been rammed and shoved in a 1-bedroom apartment, maybe 3 with no insurance. They are the new black slave, and now they are wandering the streets. I noted in our budget tonight that it was no mention of services for the homeless. And I'm not going to argue it. I trust that I sit before very open-minded and caring and sensitive people. In the documents that I have been presenting over the last few weeks, I first highlighted what I believe to be God's spiritual authority on the earth. And I did that for a reason. The apostle is the one who is sent, and they stir up. They cause things to be seen in a different light, and they walk with some unusual accompaniments of angels. They have several of them when they show up, and so is the prophet in the midst. The world likes to call the prophet the seer, a psychic, but they are not that. We in our police department have just adopted, added new equipment, which will put our police department in real time with the citizens in various parts of the community. Well, that prophet is in real time, and so is the apostle in real time with God. And when he gives them a message, he gives them all the information that is necessary to carry out that message. This is not a Christian meeting. I could have that conversation on another time, but this is not for that case. I want to highlight in your documents you're reading here, I believe in my evaluation of Long Beach's Homeless Services Department, that there's a need to identify, reorganize the agencies, and envision focus so that we are not redundant, so that time is not being wasted while people yet live in the riverbed. They're still in Lincoln Park. Some of us passed them on the way in here. We have 5 years left to a 10-year plan to end homelessness. I have met with those who are so-called responsible to get this job done, and I'm available to assist them in all ways that are necessary. We have 29 departments. I'm asking you in each of your responsibilities as council people in your district to go over and see who in these departments needs to be eliminated, add to, and do what's necessary to make sure that this is done.
Thank you, Mr. Broussard. Dolores Yusuban. Hope I didn't. Dolores?
Dolores' husband?
Y-I-T-T is it? Y-I-T-T-U-S-B-A-N-D. Dolores?
Mr. Mayor, the printed paper was difficult to read. It may be Dolores' husband.
Okay. If you signed up, go on. You're the only Dolores on here, so that'll do that. Thank you.
Good evening, Council. My name is Dolores' husband, and I live in West Long Beach. I had an accident on the sidewalk last year in June of 11. Had a case down in Long Beach. I lost the case because the city didn't know the sidewalk was bad. This morning I'm reading in this morning's paper where the city manager wants to cut funds from the sidewalk repairs. And I'm down here to ask that he doesn't do it because the sidewalks are bad in West Long Beach. I fell on the sidewalk at Daisy. I called that into the 7th district about the driveway, how bad it is. Nobody as yet has come out, and that's been over 6 weeks ago. So I'm asking, I went to the doctor today, I'm still suffering. They want to give me narcotics. I'm a senior citizen driving, don't know what effect it'll take on my driving. I can't sleep at night, and I'm asking to please use the money for what it was meant to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Husband. Appreciate that. Larry Goodyear.
Larry Goodyear, clerk has the address. A few minutes ago, I had some amicable advice or counsel from the city attorney suggesting that what I'm about to suggest would be an uphill battle. But I still think it's worth exploring. And that is, I want to follow up on the great idea that Eleanor Schmidt had relative to the Bayshore Library, which is at the 2nd and Bayshore steps from Tidelands area. And her idea was to take the necessary steps, easy steps, it's done all around the country, and use some of the space there which she found and deemed appropriate, and the city engineers staff that deemed it appropriate, to make a little internet cafe there sufficient to generate revenue. You know, the world is full of idiots who are paying $10 a cup for coffee, and there's no reason why we can't have one there and have that money go into the library fund. That idea has been around for about 7 years, and it was about last week, I don't know why it took me so long to figure out, to think about this, but it seems to me that a legal and ethical finding could be made to use Tidelands money for that if one understands the use of that library and the number of people that come in legitimately off the beach and use its facilities, whether it's to read, use the computer, or even the restrooms. And certainly if we had a coffee operation there, they would come there. Now, the city attorney pointed out that the big objection, of course, come from the Tidelands agents, excuse me, state lands. But I think if we invite the state lands to take a look at that issue, that we could get the funding there, because there's, and you know, if I'm not for anything, you know, making behind-the-scenes deals and something that's sneaky. I think a legitimate finding can be made if one understands and witnesses and sees the usage and the number of people that come within the beaches, 3 parking lanes away, and so forth. Another alternative, a little more ambitious, is quite frankly, is to take the building, the old restroom building there that was built back, God knows when, probably the 50s or 40s, and upgrade that using Tidelands money and put a cafe there or move the library over there. If you look at the aggregate space of the footprint of the library, it's not that much bigger than that space when you include all the cement that's pushed out to and so forth. So I think that's something to explore. And again, it could only be done, in my view, if to me, a legal finding, a ethical finding could be made if one understands the usage of that. I urge the city to get inside, take a look at it. I'm going to ask State Lands to go down there tomorrow and start scoping it out. Thank you.
Thank you. Larry Mihara.
Hello, good evening. My name is Lawrence Mihara. I'm representing my mother, who with myself is owner at Berth 55 Seafood Queen's Wharf Restaurant. I'm also representing Mike Redlew, who couldn't be here because he's a longshoreman, and if he missed tonight, he's out of work for the week. So he needed to be at the hall. First off, I wanted to say, I wanted to thank, I don't know if you realize this, but I got a petition going to save my business, and we got almost 4,000 people who have signed it, who feel the same way I do about my business. They really enjoy being down on the waterfront. They enjoy the sport fishing. They enjoy what Long Beach has to offer. Secondly, I wanted to say is, you know, I'm in the fish market. I don't know this process very well. I've been doing it kind of on my own, and that certain people have reached out to me and have been showing me how to go about this whole process. And from that, I've learned a ton. I've learned a ton that the city council's out there for my benefit and to help me and not to hurt the business. So I come here asking for help. That's what I'm here. I'd like to see, I'd like to stay in Long Beach. I'd like to keep our business in Long Beach. I'd like to keep on serving the community, really. That's ultimately what I really want to do. Thank you.
Ms. Mahara, this is regarding Berth 55?
This is regarding Berth 55 and the upcoming closure.
Yeah, I think you know that there's several members of this council and others have discussed this with the board. The long and the short of it is that land use is the province of the Harbor Commission. And I know that one or more members have already communicated with them, as I've talked to them as well, about taking another look at this to see if there's any way that we can save the businesses in that area. So you're more than welcome to come here, and I think you have a sympathetic ear, but you also need to make sure you put your efforts at the Harbor Commission, and I hope you've done that.
Yes, we'll be planning on.
Okay, that will be effective use of your time as well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good luck. Thank you. Mike Leonard.
Gentlemen, I'm speaking pretty much in the same regard as Mr. Mahara there. I'm here to try to ask for a little support for the businesses down there for 55. I'm a small business owner here on the west side. I've been involved with Mike Redlew in Long Beach sport fishing personally and at the business level for probably over 25 years. I have found him to be a standout performer both at the business level and at the personal level, and I feel horrible that he's being asked to be displaced. And in my own small little world, I can't imagine that an operation as large as the port can't find some other solution to consider in this regard. I just can't imagine it. When you're talking about billions of dollars and we're talking about a small operation that I believe employs 50 to 60 people and provides a very worthwhile entity down here on the port. So I'm here to ask that the people that are involved in that, who can pass judgment in that regard, give some consideration to alternatives.
Thank you, Ms. Lynn. That has been our purpose as well, making sure they look at every option they have open to them. Tony Rivera.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. My name is Tony Rivera, and I represent the West Side Industrial Council before Westpac. And it's very hurrying when I find out through the newspaper and that this was happening to this gentleman. He's losing his business. We've always been inviting business to Long Beach. This business has been 40 years in the area or more. And it was, if my understanding is correct, and I need some time to do some more investigation, but the city mayor of Long Beach one time, he worked on it to put this business in place, including the fishing and the restaurant. I've been eating over 30 years in this place without knowing the owner, and I just happened to know it about on this issue. But it's very frustrated trying to, and by the way, we're working with the port, and Mr. Chris at the harbor has been very nice. We're gonna meet with him. But we're trying to make this the council, because you are the ultimate authority on this issue. And it's our people, our American people are getting displaced in our own house, which is very, very bad. And you need to know, on the backyard, here is a business that doesn't ask for any subsidy. He just want to do business, and the community likes them. We love them, the fishing and the restaurant. It us including everybody. I mean, you probably here to the meeting, we had a full crowd. I see some problems on the EIR. As a Westpac member, the port never reported to us that this was going to happen. So I see big problems on the system. Transparency is not being done correctly, like we always proud ourselves in Long Beach. And I would just ask you today, from my own personal view, just to take a moment on this issue. Just remember, we love the business, big, medium, and small. But this kind of abuse or our own citizens need to stop. And we need some help. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Jane Kelleher.
Jane Kelleher, address on file. Speaking on Birth 55. Mayor, thank you very much for your support. We appreciate it. The forum was so much fun. We put it together, 4 West and Central organizations put it together very quickly on Thursday. Westpac, Central PAC, and 90810 and West Long Beach Association. We had over 150 people attend. At that time, Thursday, Larry Mahara had gathered 3,000 signatures. Now I just hear it's 4,000. We're going to be close to 10% of the Long Beach city population pretty soon. So anything that you can do to help us, we are going to be meeting with the port. We'd appreciate it very much to keep this Long Beach business that the community dearly, dearly loves to stay in business. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
Just if I could just interject real briefly. Well, first of all, you guys did a great job with the meeting, by the way. It was very, very well organized. I just wanted to assure, Larry, and I told Mike this as well, I mean, the mayor and I have had a conversation or two about this issue. We've both talked to the port on this issue. I know that they're in continuous discussions about doing some reviews about if there are hopefully some type of compromise measure that could be taken to obviously retain the businesses. These are great Long Beach businesses with a lot of tradition that we love, obviously, and so I would just add to what Mayor Foster said.